So I thought it'd be really good to catch up with Dermot about some of the reasons why we might think of spending more money on a magnum than on a standard bottle. What is a magnum? Let's start there.
A magnum, very simply, is a 1.5 litre glass bottle. So it's twice the size of your traditional bottle, which is 750 ml, 3/4 of a litre. And they're wonderful things.
So the wine in question that we are actually talking about, Dermot, is the 2013 vintage Cuvee. And it would be brilliant if you could explain, does it actually age differently inside a magnum format?
It's very similar because it's the identical wine that we put into the normal 75 cl bottles compared to what we put into the Magnum. But that was back at bottling in July 2014. Since then, the wines have gone on different directions. The smaller bottles will mature a little bit more quickly. The Magnums, it's a much slower process. And when you have wine maturing in Magnums over a longer period of time, the resulting wine tends to be superior.
And is that something to do with surface area? Or, just give us a little bit more as to why that might be.
It is. When we're talking about magnums of normal wine, the ratio of air in the magnum is smaller than in a normal bottle. However, when we're talking about sparkling wine, it's full of carbon dioxide anyway, so that doesn't matter so much. What is really important is when the wine is aging in the cellar, it's on its lees, on its side, there's a much bigger surface area of lees which is interacting with the wine over a long period of time. And this is what gives greater development, greater nuance, greater texture and complexity to the wine.
Absolutely, and those lees, just for those of you who, like me, might have not known what that was, it's the yeast. So it's that second fermentation and that time when it does, and one can so tell, can't you, when it's had that length of time and it gets those wonderful kind of biscuity, complex, just richer.
Absolutely, and the key thing is it's aging at a very, very slow rate. And when you've got this long, slow aging, the wine has got fantastic freshness to it and ability to age for a long time. So a wine like this, even though it's from 13 vintage, bottled in 14, this will keep on improving in the bottle for, I'd suggest, another 10 years at the minimum.
Wow. And actually there was a word you once used about when we first tasted one of our inaugural Magnum, our 2008, and you talked about it being in layers. And I think there is something, because you have that long length of time as you open it, and this is something I wanted to bring up. We need to open these wines a little bit sooner, as in giving it time to breathe.
We see this all the time with our wines because they're built for long aging. When you do open them and allow them to breathe for a little bit of time, they just get better and better and better. And this is one thing that's wonderful about drinking from Magnums, because you need not necessarily drink all of the Magnum in one sitting, depends how many people are there, or how thirsty you are, or how delicious the wine is. But if you're to put a stopper on it, put it back into the fridge and go to this wine the next day, it's even more delicious, because what's happening is the wine itself is demonstrating how positively it will age over a longer period of time. This is why it's wonderful to drink from Magnums.
So really, if there's any other reason to open a Magnum, what would you say, Dermot?
Well, of course, there's that sense of theatre. I mean, just holding a Magnum like this is like holding a baby, isn't it? So there's a wonderful sense of occasion and celebration if you're going to open something like this. It denotes an extra special moment, and it tastes more delicious, so why not?
And that wine, am I right in remembering, went on to win a few awards?
It did, actually. It was quite remarkable. When we released this wine initially back in 2017, it won the top trophy, the Platinum Trophy at Decanter magazine. Over 100 English sparkling wines were entered into that, so it got the top award. And then, remarkably, in the IWSC, again, over 100 English sparkling wines, and it won the trophy for that. So it was pretty stunning for a wine like that to win those two top awards.
So it's a wine we actually couldn't be prouder of. And in Magnum format, you can't get much better.
Absolutely. We released the first 10,000 of these bottles and they sold remarkably quickly because, of course, those awards attract everybody's attention. But we held back these Magnums for an additional 4 years. And they're certainly going to repay that patience.